That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to another Marketing Pulpit TV show. And we are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good marketing gospel. I'm going to bring in first Miss Colette McCurdy Jackson. She is the president of the Eta Phi Beta Sorority. And they are very much involved in the some of the issues we're talking about today. So let's just bring her on in, and I'll bring in my other guests too, so we can have a round table discussion. Good morning, young lady.
Great morning to you.
How are you doing? I've been reading up on the things that you've been involved in. If anybody, you are the embodiment of decency, and you lead an organization that aligns itself with many of the things that we believe in on the Marketing Pulpit radio show. So I just first want to say thank you for all you've done, your accomplishments, and for heading up this great organization, the Eta Phi Beta Sorority. Why don't you first introduce yourself, and then I have a couple of questions. I just want to just as we go out through the show to find out more about some of the things you've done and some of the things you plan to do with your organization. So please just give us a brief intro, and I'm also going to bring in my other guest as well.
Okay.
Please.
Thank you. So thank you, Robert, for having me and allowing us this opportunity to speak about Eta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated and the things that we do in our community with the topic, which we'll be discussing. I am the national president. I'm the 18th national president of Eta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. We were founded in 1942, and this very month of October, in fact, on Sunday the 4th, we will be observing our 78th Founders Day. So this is a great time for us, 78 years of working in the community throughout the country, throughout the United States and the United States Virgin Islands. Our signature program, of course, deals with the topic that you're focused on this morning. And our members are committed to the cause, and we are decent people who believe in helping others, and our motto is not for ourselves, but for others.
Oh my God, love that is so fitting. Let me bring in one of my other guests, Miss Sapphire Harris, another young lady who is a very decent person. So we have only decent people today. Good morning, Sapphire, and please unmute your mic over there. Hey, Sapphire, can you unmute your mic?
Yeah, can you hear? Okay, great. Good morning. Right. How are you today?
We are so glad to have you. Quickly, just introduce yourself, please.
Okay. Can I do my little intro as well?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Okay. Well, I want to start with saying good morning and thank you for having me on your show. It is truly an honor to be here and represent the culture of people with disabilities. 30 years ago, the environment in which the citizens of the United States of America were expected to work and be productive looked quite different than they do today. Many of our places of employment and surrounding areas were not very friendly or welcoming towards individuals whose ways of walking, talking, or thinking was different than the majority of the people in the workplace. I would like to believe that this lack of empathy for individuals with disabilities was probably not an issue of dislike, but more so just an issue of lack of understanding. Fortunately, that all began to change in July 1990, when the American with Disability Act, ADA, was signed into law. ADA, as this landmark legislation is often referred to, made it illegal to discriminate against individuals with disabilities in the areas of life, including job, education, and transportation. The ADA guaranteed that individuals with disabilities had the same opportunities to pursue life on their term as anyone else. Not a handout, but a hand up. Again, my name is Sapphire Macavis, and I am the National Committee Chair for the National Congress of Black Women. culture of people with disability, working with our esteemed leader, National President and CEO, Dr. Ife Williams, Esquire. And as a person with a physical disability, this legislation changed the course of my life. The ADA opened the doors of opportunity for me as well as for millions of other individuals with disability. So again, I'm honored and humbled to be a part of the famous marketing pulpit with Robert Gatewood. Thank you.
Well, thank you. My goodness, you're giving me the big head over here. Well, look, well, I'm glad that you were around while before our distinguished guest Colette has to leave us. But you all are also sisters in the Eta Phi Beta sorority, I
Yes,
understand.
Yes.
But
yes,
Colette,
sorrow.
let me ask you this, Colette, and just so glad you could be here. And I know you have a very busy schedule, but you have uh, why do you believe the founders chose this platform to help people with this signature program?
That's an excellent question. Of course, I wasn't around 78 years ago. Um, our founders, we were founded by 11 young women on the campus of Lewis Business College in Detroit back in 1942. And our history has told us our founders looked at what or saw what was taking place in the community in their lives at that time, being African American women or Black women, and the opportunities that were not availed to them. So here you are, a Black woman, multiply that by a Black woman or a person with a developmentally disabled. So I think they saw and took notice of all the things taking place and felt that this was an area that wasn't being addressed and thought to make this our focus. Of course, we're involved and support other activities. However, working with people who are intellectually and developmentally disabled is our signature program, and our chapters throughout the United States and the Virgin Islands carry through in working and ensuring that we support this population.
Now, also, I noticed that last week we had a show that talked about collaboration. And I noticed, and one of the things we talk about on this show is the importance of collaborating with other organizations. I noticed that you collaborate with some other organizations to help make this cause the greater, like the ARC. How does that work?
With the ARC of the United States, they have chapters throughout the country, same as Eta Phi Beta does. And our members in the different cities, wherever we can align ourselves with an ARC, we go out, we volunteer, we visit, we raise funds. One of our programs in 2008, we established, one of our past presidents established the Gloria L. Chapman Walkathon, where we actually walk when we have our national convention every 2 years, whichever city we visit. We, get the permits and we do a walkathon, and all of the funds raised in that activity, all of the chapters collectively raise funds, and a donation is made to the ARC in that city, the ARC of the United States. We did have in 2016 when we were in Las Vegas, and they did not have an ARC, but we were able to partner with an organization which supports that population.
That is so important. That's one of
Yes.
the things we promote on this show so often. I'm going to bring in my other guest, Dr. Contreras Braxton. She works with people with obesity problems, and so it's fitting also to bring her into the conversation so I can get the full panel here today. And good morning, Dr. Braxton. And please unmute your mic, please.
Yes, I'm sorry. Thank you. Good morning. How are you all?
Good morning.
Yes.
Good morning. I want to get you in before Ms. McCurdy Jackson had to leave to make sure we have the full panel here. And Colette, if you have to run, please raise your hand. If I want to keep you as long as I can because it's so important to have you here. But I do understand you have to part. So if you have to cut
But
me
I
off
think
or
I want to
anybody.
stay. I think I want to stay. This is getting good.
That's what we like to hear.
Yeah.
Hey, hey, look, we hear that all the time. You get on this show, it's like it's a bug that bites you. You can't get away from it once it gets its fangs into you. So, but to have this great panel here, because let me just tell you a little story. You like Bernie, man? Tell you a story. Tell you a story. I had a young man working for me, and I'm going to bring him back. I made this announcement last week. He has Asperger's syndrome. And he was introduced by one of your sisters, Phyllis Randall, who was also, I want to thank her also for making this show possible, to putting
Yes.
everything together, coordinated. And one of your sisters. So I say Eta Phi Beta, you guys are really rocking today. But see, it goes to this thing of decency.
Mhm.
If we can get more people to embrace, you don't have to go out here and just be a saint or an
Right.
angel. Just be decent.
Yeah.
Be empathetic. Look at other
Absolutely.
people who have challenges, and let's reach out and extend the welcome mat. And so I was using this young man Demar as an example, and he worked with me for many years. And I made a pledge before this show. I was going to find him and bring him back to work, because we went through a slow period. Technology kicked in, and we had to make some cutbacks, and he had another job and had a hard time making it work. But I'm going to go back. I'm just going to, and I'm going to ask, I'm really challenging my audience. If you can do the same thing, if you know somebody who has a disability, if somebody has come knocking on your door in the past few weeks or months, and you say, wow, this is just too much work, this is too hard. Yes, it is hard, but decent people can find a way to make it happen.
That's true.
Uh, Ms. Braxton, tell us
Yes.
quickly introduce yourself to our audience, please.
Well, hi, I'm Dr. Contras Braxton. I've been with the National Congress of Black Women for quite some time. I stopped counting the years when you start participating and working with the Disability Committee. It was something that initially, when I got involved, I wasn't really sure if I could handle it based on what you were saying. And the decency in it was that not only was I looking and living in it and through it, because I come from a family of 8. I'm the oldest of 8, and I've got over 30 nieces and nephews. I got at least 13 godchildren, and and I've seen the effects of obesity. I've watched the challenges in it, through my mom and through some of the things that have taken place. So being a part of this committee truly opened my eyes to how I can be of assistance and how I can be a decent person to help and step into that arena. So I've been with the FDA for over 30 years, and I've been working through that process. I'm also an apostle, and I'm a founder of my own church. And so God has really been moving things through giving me the opportunity to do a lot of work in different areas, and being a pastor and apostle, just starting to walk in that field. But being in that type of role is also a big deal, because you not only are you helping people to become, like what you were saying at one time, saved, get some lives changed,
Right.
but hopefully putting out that information and helping them even now understand what it means to live a life of wholeness, and realize that what you put in your body can be detrimental to you if you don't look at it from that perspective. And the word tells you how to address that. So for me, it's really eye-opening experience, but it's also taught me a lot about even my own life and how I want to live. Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for that introduction. I want you to stick around as we progress through the show, because I'm going to ask you guys as we go through this show. We have challenges in our community, and it's hard to sit on the sidelines when so many things are going wrong.
Yeah.
But imagine if it's hard for people that we might call so-called normal. And as I put up my air quotes, because normal is whatever you make it. But imagine somebody who has disabilities, somebody who has to make that extra effort. And then we're in the midst of a pandemic.
Yeah.
So now you're layering on other issues. Now, let me go back to you, Colette. Now, what do you guys do towards volunteering if somebody wants to help an organization like yours? I mean, because I know for a fact there are people out here in my listening audience who want to do the right thing. They want to be different. They are sisters, they're brothers, and they are looking for organizations like yours. So how does the volunteering thing work when it comes to your organization?
Okay. Well, of course, we are a business and professional women's organization. We do have auxiliaries. We have the husbands of the sorority sisters who are a part of us, and they assist. We also work with youth. So we partner. We do the volunteering. So anyone who would want to assist us, of course, we would try and encourage them to join our roles, join our ranks as a member. Of course, if you're female, and if you're not female and you're a male, maybe you'd have to marry one of our members in order to become a shad, which is what we refer to the spouse as shads. But we will partner, as you said, collaboration. That's the key, you know, collaboration. Whoever wants to assist, if we're doing, we know voting is always a poignant topic, and we will work with whoever would like to join us. If you see Eta Phi Beta, if you see us out there in our red and gold paraphernalia, and you want to come over and ask, so what are you guys about? How can I help? And we can tell you where we see that you can fit. So we will not turn away anyone that is looking to volunteer.
Amen.
And on the even years when we have our national convention, we do the walk in that city. On the odd years, our members in their local chapters also conduct a walkathon and raise funds. All of those funds are earmarked for intellectually and developmentally disabled projects, whether it's the Arc of the United States or a local agency in their community. That's where those monies are earmarked for. We established a scholarship that the funding from that is separate from the walkathon, of course. But the primary goal with the walkathon to raise funds to bring visibility to the organization as well. As the doctor said about obesity, you got to be out, you've got to exercise, you've got to stay fit. So it's a win-win. We have our members actively walking, and we're raising funds. You see us out there in our t-shirts. And again, we approach, what is this organization? What are you about? What are the things that you do? How can I learn more about you? So it's, in the 12 years since we've been doing it, we have contributed and donated a substantial amount of money to those organizations. Of course, it's never enough. It's never enough. We're not a mighty organization. We're small, but we do some mighty good things. So any one
Yes.
of your listeners, if you're looking to make a contribution to an organization or a good cause, please think of Eta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated.
Well, I'm going to tell you, we have quite a few of your members joining into the conversation online. I see Linda. She says good morning and thank you, President Colette McCurdy Jackson. We see Cleola Bostic. She's saying that they also collaborate with the NAACP for voter registration.
Correct.
And I see Yafa. She's saying thank you, Linda Hawkins, for all the work you do. I think I see Donna Underwood. She's saying thank you to the president. You got a lot of followers out there, President.
Yeah, wonderful.
You
And
must,
then Linda Hawkins, she's in California, so she's up early.
yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. What is it? 7 o'clock out there. So thank you, Linda. And Sandra Bradfield. She's saying thank you
Okay.
again.
Yeah,
Paula.
Sandra, that's our national first vice president. Shout out to her.
All right. I see Cleola. I see Paula Molly Nell.
Okay.
And then we have people who are not even part of your group. I see Gerald Brown here in the DC area. He says, good morning, Miss Colette and Miss Sapphire, Miss Braxton. I see Kenny Jones. He's saying hello. Of course, our regular good folks like Attorney Bradley. He's saying hello to all the groups and proud of you guys, what you're doing. And so you got a nice listening audience out here. Now, Ms. Jackson, tell the audience how they can reach the organization if they want to participate, find out more. donate money, get out there and put on a red shirt and do walkathons with you. So if somebody wants to participate in any way, how can they reach the organization?
Absolutely, absolutely. We are on the internet, of course. We do have a presence there. Our website address is www.etaphiBetaSorority.com. We are on Twitter, so follow us at Eta Phi Beta. In the local DC area where you're located, Robert, we have a couple of chapters. As you mentioned, Phyllis Randall, one of our members, she's the president of Epsilon Zeta chapter, Prince George's County. So that's a local contact for you. And if just visit our website, gather the information. You know, we have a central contact with our headquarters, our executive director working out of Detroit, Michigan, will route all correspondence to the appropriate regions. So, you know, you can definitely find us. We are there. We are there and we are working. Our motto is not for ourselves, but for others. Our mission is to help and improve the lives of those in our communities in the United States and the United States Virgin Islands. So, you know, you can find us. You can find
Damn,
us.
Jay.
And I'm going to add, Robert, we have our Educational and Charitable Foundation, which is a 501c3 organization, and
Okay.
donations and contributions can be made to us. And that information, again, is also on our website. So for anyone that has some extra disposable funds, we thank you.